Yes, everybody, welcome to the Watch Along. Before we get stuck into the Watch Along, we have to give you the news. It's just breaking all over the place. Everyone's favourite Italian journalist, Fabrizio Romano, has just given us did he give us a here we go? Here we go soon. He says Manchester United and Porto have reached an agreement, finally, for Alex Telles. Last details to be sorted in the next few hours. Medicals and official announcement. Here we go soon. Wasn't long ago that the deal looked like it had stalled. I think we probably mentioned in here a little bit, actually, that we thought this is the quiet period now where transfers either fall to pieces or they actually start to become a reality because everything's kind of done. No one's really leaking anything now to the press because it's about to happen. And, you know, unfortunately, some of the other deals that we've been linked with, that's happened and they fell off. This one has happened and seemingly has been completed. Very interesting that United have gone for a first-choice left-back. I know a lot of people are very hot on Luke Shaw. I think we could always improve upon him, or certainly in the final third I thought we could improve upon him. So what does it mean now for Luke Shaw? I don't think Brandon Williams is affected. I think his status as a squad player at Manchester United that can fill in at left or right back is secure. His age and his relative low wages means that he's always going to be a good option to have around. But Luke Shaw's on some significant wages at Manchester United. Is he going to be allowed to stick around and not play on, you know, significantly more than, I think, Tony Marshall and Marcus Rashford? So it's going to be an interesting one. Does Telles start over him? I would expect he does. Otherwise, what was the point in signing him? Now, the player that we're getting, I think you all know, this is a very attacking fullback. So I think United are going to go with an asymmetric back line, something that's a little bit shifted over to that left-hand side because he's so attacking and Wan-Bissaka is so defensive. I think it's a very interesting signing. 27 years of age. Looks like we're going now with a little bit more experience. One Brazilian cap, but the stats that he got last year in Ligue NOS, 11 goals, 8 assists in 31 appearances. Remember when we were saying, like, those stats that we saw, they're not going to translate. Those stats aren't going to translate for Bruno. Those stats won't translate for this guy. Maybe they will. Sky Sports are reporting that the fee is a €20 million, roughly in the region of £15-16 million. Seems a pretty good deal to me. He did spend a season in Serie A with Inter in 15-16 before he moved to Porto. He's also spent time in Galatasaray, and he should be a United player within 24 hours. Sounds like we've got two medicals scheduled tonight, Cavani being one, Telles being the other. Maybe we're getting them out of the way because we've got another one to arrive tomorrow. I think if you look at this window now in a whole, it's starting to look like it might have been a decent window. I've still got major issues about the length of time this has taken to complete for relatively low-cost transfer. And the same with Cavani. I think the guy's been a free agent since about June. So I've got lots of issues about why we are getting players in so late. But I'm going to put this to you guys. If Manchester United are able to complete the signing of Jadon Sancho tomorrow, that would represent a good window. Now, if we don't get Jadon Sancho tomorrow, this doesn't represent a good window, and this is a very much summer 2018 under Jose Mourinho, where we bought Fred, Lee Grant, and Dalot. Literally the exact same window that we're having, and I would expect a very similar results on the back end of that. If you get Jadon Sancho, I think that Donny van de Beek's a great signing. I think Telles is a fantastic signing for us. I think that Jadon Sancho would be a fantastic signing for us. But if we don't get Jadon Sancho, this has just been a very cheap window. What team challenging for Champions League football in any of the top 5 leagues can justify, or the top 3 leagues realistically, one of the clubs that calls itself the biggest football club in the world, what league can you justify spending £60 million? You can't. There's not a prayer that you can justify that and think you're going to improve. Think you're going to compete with Tottenham, that have found their checkbook. Think that you're going to compete with Chelsea, that have recently found their checkbook. Think that you're going to compete with Manchester City, who, with 24 hours left in a window and a terrible start for Pep this season with what he spent, they're going to find their checkbook. There needs to be another signing. And 4 players would represent a decent window if it's amongst our first choices. If we just pick up another right winger from the Dog and Duck, that's not acceptable. If it is our first choice and we've took it all the way to the end of the window to get it and we tried to negotiate, honestly, it's still not acceptable. But at least we've got him through the door. I've got Andy Tate and I've got Joe Smith here with me. I'm going to get their thoughts on this transfer. Looks like it's done. Joe, it seems that Tellez pleaded with the Porto board to allow him to go to United. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is that yesterday we were hearing that it was 25 million quid for Tellez and United weren't really fancying it. And there's an impasse over the fee. United didn't want to pay £25 million for someone whose contract was going to be running out at the end of the season anyway, who is free to talk to other clubs in 6 months. So to go from that to actually 20 million and it looks like it's done deal, maybe it was Tellez pleading, maybe it was a bit of decent negotiating from United. And I agree with you that I don't know why it had to take all summer again. Like I said, Cavani's been a free agent for 3 months. Tellez has been a well-known left back in Europe for
how many times
3 years.
Cavani's been at the park?
Yeah, loads. I just think, I'm surprised it's taken. I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed it's taken so long. I think he's a good signing. It remains to be seen, like I said, whether he can repeat those numbers that he did in Portugal. But if he can get close to that, or at least just offer us a bit more attacking threat so that the defending teams have another option to worry about, another thing to sort of consider when they're defending against Manchester United, I think it'd be a great signing, and I'm glad. I think 20 million is a fair fee for him as well.
Andy, I love your glass. What does this mean for Luke Shaw?
He's got competition now. He's got competition, and that's what basically everybody wanted at United. And he's got to work for his place, just like De Gea with Dean Henderson. You need competitiveness for each place. And I hope the lad does well. I really do. But Cavani, it seems we've only been on the scene just like that in 24 hours. It seems panic. I've got nothing against him. I don't rate his ability, but it's a panic buy, and I don't think it's Solskjaer's choice. I think it's who's choice, just to do some shirt sales.
No, I don't, because I don't think Cavani's a big enough name to sell shirts. I think he's I don't like he might be coming for the money aspect of it. I think that is potentially the wrong flavour, and I thought Solskjaer has done a phenomenal job at changing that sort of culture at United. But I've also been a massive advocate for depth in this window, so I would be a massive hypocrite if I was saying, no, I don't want this guy because he's on a free transfer. He's a free transfer. We'll see what happens with him for a couple of seasons. But look, we've obviously got a full day of coverage talking about transfers tomorrow. So make sure to keep it locked to Stretford Paddock for the entire day. We're going to be at Old Trafford. We're going to be going live in here at the drop of a hat. We might even go to Carrington just to get turfed off for trespassing. But you'll have to leave that with us, and we'll see how it goes down. Let's hope these two are the start of a big flurry. And if we end up with 4 and it sounds like Schmade and Schmancho, I'll be a very happy man by the end of that.